Greetings, friends. I hope I found you well. So, we are on day 4 of our devotional, and we're still reading the book Desire of Ages, and we're still in chapter 1, God with Us. And today we are reading from pages 22 to page 24. So, from this passages, just those 2 pages, we learned that Satan actually broke God's law of love in heaven, and he made some angels to also unite with him. So we learned that also the plan of salvation was actually there before creation of the earth and before the fall of man. It was not an afterthought, as Ellen White puts it in the book Desire of Ages. So I'll read from page 22, paragraph 2, which says, "The plan for our redemption was not an afterthought, a plan formulated after the fall of Adam. It was a revelation of the mystery which had been kept in silence through times eternal." So God actually knew that men are going to fall, and the plan for redemption was already in place for us. And also, we see Satan's desire to try and deceive people and make God look as someone who uses force for people to follow him. But we know that our God is a God of love, and actually using force is contradictory to who he is. And also, it says here the exercise of force is contrary to the principles of God's government. He desires only the service of love, and love cannot be commanded. It cannot be won by force or authority. So anything that has to be done by force or command or detecting, it's actually against the government of God. God is a God of love, and anything that he does, he actually does it in love. So for us to know God, it's to love him, and also our God is a God of love as well, and also his character is actually manifested as a God of love. So we see that God loved us by actually sending his son to actually die for our sins. So the only way to save us as sinful human beings was for God to give us his son, as we read from John chapter 3, verses 16. And also, unlike Satan, who actually sought to exalt himself, you read about this in the book Isaiah chapter 14, verses 13 to 14. Jesus humbled himself even to death on the cross. So God has always wanted to dwell with his people, and he has dwelt with us, as we read in our earlier devotions in John chapter 1, verses 14. God also was acquainted with our trials and sympathized with us. So also Jesus, we learn that he was tempted like us. So sometimes there's a tendency for us as human beings to think that temptations are only common to us as men, but God actually also went through those temptations as well. So there is nothing that he actually doesn't know that we as human beings go through. But however, we also read in the Bible that Jesus lived a sinless life. So by him doing that, it actually demonstrates that it is possible to follow God's law. Sometimes you think that God's law is so demanding, it's impossible to keep, but actually the law is there for us as a mirror, and it is possible for us to live by it. We know that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but we do all strive to be perfect. We strive for righteousness, and we strive to live by his commandments and turn away from sin. How do we turn away from sin? We turn away from sin by actually keeping all the commandments that is given us in Exodus chapter 20, as we read there. Also here it says, I'm reading from page chapter 22, paragraph 2 rather. It says, "From the beginning, God and Christ knew of the apostasy of Satan and of the fall of men through the deceptive power of the apostate. God did not ordain that sin should exist, but he foresaw its existence and made provision to meet the terrible emergency." I've heard some theories that say God actually is the one who made sin, and then now he then devised a plan for people to be saved or for redemption, but which is not true. Satan is the cause of the fall of man, the fall of our fathers Adam, a fall of our father Adam, and also Eve was actually Satan's plan. But God knew that was going to happen. That's why he then devised a plan of salvation. So Sister White really gets into detail by explaining to us all those things, and also that God is a God of love, and he sacrificed a lot for us. So I pray that from today's devotion we'll seek to be loving as our God is love, and also will seek to live sinless lives. We strive for a perfect life, as we've seen from Christ's example that is actually possible for you to lead a sinless life. And also we should seek for salvation, because God came to actually save us. May God bless you, and I look forward to our next devotion. God bless.